Mel Robbins is without a doubt one of the most successful self-help authors of our time. She's had like 7 #1 Audible releases. She's sold millions of copies of books in 41 different languages. And her most recent book, The Let Them Theory, is probably the most anticipated and one of the biggest self-help books of 2025. Editing page here. The internet just informed me that everything that I just said was a giant understatement. The Let Them Theory sold 1.2 million copies in its first month, and it is the most successful nonfiction book launch in history. So yeah, kind of a big deal. Here's my thoughts on it. So I think I had a different experience with this book than a lot of other people will. The let them method is essentially this idea of whatever people are going to think, just let them think it. And whatever they're going to do, just let them do it. And then you worry about let me. So the theory is let them and then let me. So let them handle with whatever it is that they're going to do, and then let me do whatever it is that I need to do, regardless of what they think about it or how they respond to it or whatever. So this is a thing that I feel like for most people, this is going to kind of be a revelation and kind of be a thing of like, oh my gosh, I can actually do this. Like I can just let people think poorly of me. I can just like let people be mad at me and I don't have to like do something about it. But for me, this is a thing where my personality this has always been kind of an easy thing for me. I've been pretty good my whole life with just kind of letting people think what they want to think. And I don't really care what they think about what I'm doing or whatever. I want to know that I'm doing what I know I'm supposed to do. And I don't really care what their opinion is on it. So what was interesting is that a lot of what most people are going to get out of this book is stuff that didn't really hit me that hard because I already am very practiced at it in my own life. What that meant is that there's 3 lessons out of here that I pulled out of it that really hit me that I think most people will probably gloss over. So those are the ones that I want to share with you today. The first thing, she talks about people believing that warning labels, threats, and known risks do not apply to them. And it's a point that she makes she kind of goes into it a little bit, but overall it wasn't a giant point of the book, but it stuck out to me so much because it ties into a video that I want to make of why people don't read. And one of the reasons why people don't read is that they don't think that the negative effects of not reading are going to actually happen to them. They think that they're the exception. It's the same reason why we don't work out, right? It's this thing that people believe that warning labels, that threats, and that known risks of something don't actually apply to me. So I can be sedentary and I can eat crap my whole life long, but it's not going to result in, health problems that kill me, right? Like I'm the exception. Like I know other people are going to get fat, and have all these health problems or whatever, but it hasn't affected me yet, right? And it just stuck out so much because I've been watching a couple different videos from people and really thinking through this thing of why do people not read and how do we get people to read more? And one of the core reasons why people don't read is literally because they think that the negative effects of not reading aren't going to apply to them. So they think, and what they tell themselves is that I don't have to read, but I can still be a good thinker if I don't read, which is just not true. It's just simply not true. You cannot become a deep thinker without the practice of reading and learning to read well. It's just not how the human brain is wired to work, right? That really stuck out with me, is that we all tend to think that we are the exception, that the warning or the known risk or the threat or the whatever doesn't apply to me. Surely it's not going to happen to me. Surely I am the exception. And that is just such a foundational truth thing that if you can keep that in mind, you can catch yourself doing it, and then you can catch other people doing it, and you can help them when they're in these situations where you can be like, dude, no, you're not the exception. This is not going to end well. If you are sedentary and you eat crap, it will be bad for you. It will kill you. You are not the exception. There is no exception to this rule, right? So that was the first one that I wanted to talk about. The second lesson that I want to talk about, again, this was kind of an impassing thing. She talked about it a little bit, but she didn't really dig into it. But she has this phrase where she said, it's not time that heals, it's what you do with that time that matters. And that is so foundational. Like, oh my gosh, it is just this giant lie that time heals all wounds, right? Because it's just not true. Like some wounds just fester. Right? If you're not taking care of the wound, yes, time is essential for healing the wound, but time is not the only ingredient that goes into healing the wound. If you're not taking care of it, it's not going to heal no matter how much time passes, and it's probably going to get worse, So it's like time doesn't necessarily heal all wounds the same way that time doesn't necessarily make all wounds gangrenous, but time is associated with both of those things, and time is going to pass either way. So don't buy into the lie that time is the secret ingredient. What you're actually doing is the secret ingredient. Whether you're working through your problems or working through the hurt that happened or working through the questions that you have, that is what makes the difference of if time is actually going to result in you being healed and being healthier and being more whole, or being more broken and the wound becoming gangrenous, right? So I love that one. It's not time that heals. It's what you do with that time that matters. And then the final lesson that I want to talk about was by far my favorite quote from the book. And it was just very kind of in passing again, but she said, "A real conversation only destroys something that is fake." And she was talking about it in the context of relationships, and if you need to have like a are we going to make up or break up conversation, right? But that is so unbelievably true that it just blew my mind. And just immediately reading it, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, 100%. This is my favorite quote of the book. And it doesn't even necessarily have much to do with like the topic of the book. It's kind of a side note thing, right? But oh my gosh, this has played out truthfully over and over and over and over again in my life of like, if the relationship cannot handle a truthful conversation, it's not real. It's a fake relationship. You have a fake relationship, and it doesn't matter if it's a dating or a friendship or whatever. Like, a honest conversation only destroys something that is fake. I absolutely freaking love that. It was so good. If you take nothing from this book, even if you don't even read this book, if you keep that in your mind and in your head and use that as a framework for walking through life and managing relationships in life, right? Your life will be so much better because of it. Just always remember, if it's real, it can sustain the impact of a real conversation. And if it can't sustain the impact of a real conversation and the weight of a real conversation, then it was a fake relationship to begin with, right? So good. Absolutely love that one. So yeah, there you go. Those were my 3 lessons. Those are not, if you put into AI, what is the let them theory all about? Those are not the lessons you're going to get back. Again, those are not the main points of this book. And the main point of this book was not something that I really needed, might be something that you really needed. And if it is, I would definitely recommend this one. But I hope that those helped. I hope that they encouraged you. And I would say pick it up, right? Link in the description. Pick it up if you're interested in it. It was not a bad book overall. I think that's all I got for this one today. Hope you're doing well. If you have read this one, let me know what you thought of it, what your favorite part was, how much it impacted you. I'd love to hear. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.